So thank everybody for coming. This is our guest speaker for our music production class. His name is D. James, DJ D. James. His first name is James, so you can call him James or D. James.
Yeah, that's cool.
And he's going to talk a little bit about how he got involved in DJing. Some of his credentials are he works at DJ City, which is the world's largest record pool. He also helps with a radio show in London. And he's toured with people from like Drake on and all sorts of competitions and touring all over Europe, etc. So maybe he can talk a little bit about how you got into it, and then we'll show like a demonstration, talk a bit about the do's and don'ts when you're DJing and touring, and then we'll have you guys come up and give it a whirl.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me come down today. So I'm D. James. I'm from London. I started out DJing about 10, 11 years ago, just doing like student parties. I never really like woke up and thought I want to be a DJ because it was glamorous, because back then it wasn't really like that. You didn't have like EDM and Vegas and all this stuff. It just kind of happened. So that's it. So yeah, fast forward 10 years and I've like toured with Drake, The Weeknd, The Game, Sean Paul, Sean Kingston, like a lot of big artists and stuff. As the brand says, I work on a station in the UK called Capital Extra, which is the biggest urban music station. Produce a dancehall and reggae show there, so I have some experience in like radio production. And yeah, DJ City, which is it's the biggest record pool in the world. So we're like in between the record labels and the DJs. So we take the music they send to us. We make like intro edits and DJ-friendly mix versions for the clubs, because not everything stuff's designed for the radio. It's not always designed to be played well in the club. So we make stuff that's mix-friendly, has like high impact to start with. Yeah, so a few things I want to talk about today. Yeah, the different types of mixing is the first thing we're going to cover, and then I have like 5 do's and 5 don'ts for you guys want to get into DJing. So yeah, first of all, I know obviously you guys are all on an audio production course, right? So how many of you guys are interested in DJing as an art form, and how many of you just want to do it because it's like a byproduct of being a producer now? Like, are you guys like really interested in the DJ stuff? You had a go before?
I've experimented, but I'm not very good.
Okay, so what have you tried on?
I mean, just kind of similar.
Just like controllers and stuff?
Implement is this, yeah, just trying to figure out the knobs and everything.
Yeah, okay, so we'll run through that, because these controllers are great because they have a lot of the same features on it as like a £5,000 setup, which you're going to get on like a $1,000 setup, and a $300 setup. It's a lot of the same stuff, it's just the build quality and stuff that you pay for, obviously. But by the rest of you guys, like, have you had a go, any experience testing out DJ stuff, or?
I mean, I just got a cheaper model of that at home.
Okay.
Like, I just bought it, like, I just want to try it, like, see how it works first, then maybe, like, I might use it to do it as, like, college side job, maybe.
Alright, cool. And what music are you guys all into? Hip-hop mainly?
Hip-hop, yeah.
Hip-hop,
All of you?
Yeah.
What about you guys? Alright.
What do you like to listen to?
So you don't want to be involved, you're just like, you're standing out of the way. You cool there? Okay, so yeah, we'll go over some of the basics. I've got a few like clean versions of hip hop tracks here. Yeah, there's a lot of cursing in and stuff you like. So yeah, we'll start off with Tiger Taste. So I'm sure you'll all know that. So a lot of these edits, like I said, they're made for DJs to mix in the club. A lot
And
of
you
like,
guys go around.
yeah, you can come closer if you want.
Seeing,
You can see.
you know, go all the way around, watch. He's going to show you some techniques.
So first of all, this is Serato. This is software that I've been using for about 8-9 years now. I went from turntables to this. So basically, you have control records or control CDs, and they send what is called a control tone or a noise map. It's basically just a constant tone for 15 minutes solid. And if you make they move the pitch up, record gets faster, the pitch becomes higher. That sends a signal to the software to tell it to speed up the record. I'm sure you guys have a bit of knowledge of pitch and stuff, right? And it works to like 0.1 milliseconds, so it means you can scratch, and it's responsive that quickly, as much as it is like it's cool. Yeah, as much as it is, just change the tempo. You can see on here, because this is a controller, it's all mapped. The pitch change is instant. If you were to do this on turntables or CDs in the club, there'd be like a slight delay where it kind of figured out where it's at tempo-wise and stuff. So yeah, as I said, this is Serato. You've also got Pioneer. They brought out similar software called Recordbox. That's kind of becoming like industry standard a lot of the time now because Pioneer is the go-to like equipment manufacturers in the club. If you DJ in nightclubs, a lot of the time you're going to get there. It's going to be Pioneer CDJs and a mixer. So it's important for you guys to just know the basics of DJing and stuff that you can apply to all setups, because it's good to have these are great to start out on, but you need to understand which parts of these are transferable to any setup. You don't want to get caught out if you're going to go play a set and you're only on there for an hour. You don't want to have to be that guy that brings 1,000 cables and plugs your control room while everyone else is DJing off the standard setup. So yeah, so in terms of like a basic mix, obviously you should do this by ear normally, but just for the purposes of the demonstration today I'm going to show you. So we have Tiger Taste here playing, and we have Richard Kid Plug. This track's 3 BPM faster, so we're going to speed this one up. So it's the same tempo. You'd normally be doing this in your headphones by ear and stuff. Yeah, like I say, because it's like a typical 4/4 Western structure, you've got like this has got an 8-bar hook, and this has got an 8-bar intro. So if you start this as the hook starts in that, it's gonna flow nicely. You're gonna get the vocals of Plug Walk come in as Tiger finishes, right?
Mr. What kind of car, yeah, in the city, know my name. Gotta say it. She can get a taste. She can get a taste.
Right, so yeah, this is just like better played normally.
It's all the same like Mary Kate. She can get a taste. Let you get a taste.
She's cool, I played
Cool, but he ain't like me.
Right, so that's like a super basic mix. But you won't be able to hear on here, but like on the club system, if you were to do that with both faders up, full volume and everything, the bass would be like overpowering, and the system would like the compressor would kick, like limit would kick in. It sounds terrible. So if you're going to do that, you're going to want to EQ the track as well, just a straight blend. Obviously, this works nice as well because everything starts on like the downbeat on the 1. So like that vocal finished perfectly on the 1, that one starts on the 1. There's tracks where the vocal will come in early, and that's just going to be like music knowledge. You guys get to know what he's playing and stuff. So guys, welcome. Yeah, just come straight around. Yeah, so I'll talk you through what's on here basically. So you have the platters here, which on turntables will be moving obviously, but on here they're fixed, and on CDJs they are as well. These are just play and pause, that's instant. And these are your cue points. You can set these up on the fly, so as it's not playing, just as you release it. If you know like MPC pads and stuff like that, like user samplers. If you hit an empty pad, it will assign to wherever you're at in the track. These are just great for like if you're in a club and you can have like multiple cue points in the track. If you want to jump to like, so you're talking and you miss your 8-bar cue in, you can also set a cue point on like 4 bars in, and you always like that's the kind of thing you get used to as you DJ a long time. You can just mix in from 4 bars or 2 bars, whatever you need to do, or you can have like, you can jump around in the track, you can restructure it, so maybe you want to like jump to the hook first, then bring it back to the first verse, then play on the hook, and then have like a beat out, so you can use like an acapella or something differently. And up here you've got all your effects, which are, all this comes like pre-mapped, so basically when you buy this it works right out of the box. You plug a USB cable in, download some drivers, and everything's mapped to Serato. They do Recordbox versions which like look identical, so up here you've got your effects, you've just got like a dry wet and on-off button basically. So I have this mapped to my echo. You control the beat parameters for this, that controls the beat parameters for everything. So that's like set to a 1 beat echo right now. So that's really useful in the club if you want to switch up the vibe of the, if you're like stuck at a tempo and you feel like the crowd aren't really like going for it, and you want to do like a complete switch up, hit an echo, just drop the next track in. That's like a really good way to switch stuff up. So does anyone want to be brave and have a go at just like a straight mix on that? No one's going to judge you.
I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go.
Right, okay.
Armand's getting on there.
Alright.
So, right, so
Is it like duplicated? Like this is the same as this, just this is for the first song, this is for the second song?
yeah, so everything's mirrored on this. So like, aside from these, which has controlled the master out, the booth out. So in the club, the master out will obviously go to the house system. booth, you'll have full control, so you can hear what you're doing and turn it on and off if you want to talk to people and stuff. But yeah, everything on this, they're completely symmetrical, and it just controls whatever track you have loaded in your software. So yeah, with this, you basically
Gotta say it.
that's the bit you want to mix from, right? So it's like
Gotta say it.
so it's on the downbeat, right? So I'll give you like a few bars.
So when it gets to there, I should cue in the second track.
Yeah. So all you're gonna do, you're literally just gonna hit play like on time. So that's set to that cue point 1 now. It's right back at the start of the track. So all you have to do. If you just hit that on, and if it's out, don't worry, we'll fix it. So yeah.
Say the wrong words, you be hangman. Why we stick to you like a spray tan? Mr. What kind of car you in the city, know my name. Gotta say it.
Okay.
Then play
Don't panic. No, don't panic. It's cool. Right. So yeah, you're just a little bit late there. So all you have to do. This is the platter. This is the jog wheel. So around the edge, just with one finger, you can just speed it up and slow it down. Just make small adjustments.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that happens again, it's cool. We'll fix it. We'll show everyone how to do it.
Is there a way to get it so that when you press a button on this, it'll take out the first track? Like the way I did it when I pressed play, it kept this one going. Is there a way to make it so like when I press play on this, it'll take out this one? Or do you just like press them both at the same time?
Well, you wouldn't need to because you've also got the up faders and the the tempo protector. I can show everybody. Yeah. So on here as well, you can choose whether this is active or not on a lot of mixers. You actually can't on these controllers, but basically you have the up faders and you have the cross faders. So, so they're playing together. You can either jump between them with that, or you can use the up faders or both, depending on what kind of DJ you are. So yeah, if that's out like it was a little bit like that before, just use your ears. I mean, the software is there to help you. Visually, you can see where the kicks is there.
Lot of gang, lot of beats in the ice chain. Why you claim that you rich, that's a false claim. I'll be straight to the whiz, no baggage claim. Whole lot of staff can't even pronounce the name. You ain't got no stats, my rain dance. And we all in black, like it's gangland. Say the wrong words, you be hangman. Why me stick to you like a spray tan? Mr. What kind of car you in the city, know my name. Gotta say it.
You can let it play, you don't have to stop the other track. That's what you want to do. But all this is, right, this is just 8 bars of bare drums. So the people in the club don't want to hear that, it's boring.
Yeah.
So you want to mix that over the hook, over the hook of Tiger.
So have that playing in like the background while the hook.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll show you guys like different ways to bring it in and stuff. It's
Taste. Say the wrong words, you be hangman. Why me stick to you like a spray tan?
when you're ready.
Mr. What kind of car you in the city, know my name. Gotta say it.
You know that's nice. That's spot on. So yeah, like I said before, like if you were tuning the club right now, the bass would be a little bit overpowering. So you have the EQ in here. This is standard for every software you're gonna use. You got low, mid, and high.
Yeah, that's cool. You ain't like me.
And then right there is when you take out the first track.
Yeah, so you can either pull the fader down or you can knock it across. Doesn't matter, whatever's easy for you, whatever you feel. That's just gonna come with time, like. But yeah, so that's just like I said, that's like a really easy, straightforward example. Some stuff you encounter, there's gonna be vocal clash and things. That's just you guys getting to know the music. It's not always a great idea to mix though. Some people get too caught up in having to blend everything, and sometimes it can like really wreck the impact of a track that's got like a big impactful start. So like, so say like I was playing Plug Walk in the club, and I wanted to bring in Drake, Nice for What. You'll hear like if I go to do this because Drake's got the Lauryn Hill sample in the vocal, you hear it's like really clashing. You know what I mean? It's not a clean mix at all. And as well, like you're gonna hear the Drake vocal's gonna come in too early, it's gonna be clashing. That's not as much of a clean mix as Tiger Taste was into that. So if that was me in the club, because of the way that Drake track is, I just use the radio edit. Literally just drop it on the one. You can just drop it. Because that's such a clean sample at the start. But it's just knowing the music and having like different ways of mixing. If you guys are into hip hop, it's going to be a lot more like choppy mixing. Like house DJs, everything's made to mix. It's really easy. You're going to get like 16 bars of drums, a breakdown. It's so, you know what the DJs are like, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all jumping and counting. It's so easy. With hip hop, you're going to get like with Pharrell, all of his Neptune's beats, everything's always got like a 1 bar counting. You know, you must notice that with Pharrell tracks. It's always got 4 beats at the start. You're going to have to like loop those things up and utilize all the tools that you've got at your disposal. You've got like loops here. You've got the pads. You're going to have to really like get creative with hip hop. But for me, it's a lot more fun to mix. You can do a lot more with it.
So do it like a quick demonstration.
Yeah. So what do you want to see? Just how
just a fast mix.
Yeah, like I said with that really, if this was playing. If this was in a club, I just drop it with like some basic cuts like that, and I have like with a lot of my routine edits. This is the other thing I was going to talk to you guys about. Who's on Ableton? Who's in Logic? Out of you guys?
So about half are in Logic, half of them are Ableton.
Okay, so Ableton is like a great tool for like DJ producers because. Obviously, it's got 2 views. It's got the performance mode, but I think it's a great tool for like copying and pasting stuff. So if you take a track, you drag it in there, you can edit it really quickly and chop it up. So if you don't like the way something's structured, like it's got a really good bridge, but it's like after the second verse and the crowd will be bored by the time you get there, you can chop that, put it at the start, go into a hook, go into verse, do whatever you want. So it's really useful. So I do that with a lot of my stuff, like tracks that maybe are like 15 years old. And you want to sing the chorus, but the verse might be a bit slow or boring. You give them the hook, and then you move on. So I have like, I'll show you. I'm trying to think what has like, because I didn't know because I've already prepped so much.
Do you have any breaks or anything? Any just breaks, instrumentals?
Yeah, that's not really going to show how it works. Yeah, I want some other people to have a go at mixing anyway, because I feel like it's only been one person so far. Who else wants to step up and have a go at blending?
One of my girls,
You nailed it, come on. Yeah, come on. It's cool.
That's my rain dance, and we all in black, like it's gangland. Say the wrong words, you be hangman. Why we stick to you like a spray tan? Mr. What kind of car you in? In the city, know my name. Gotta say it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is a little bit late. So what you're going to do is just pull this forward and set it in time. Keep going.
Start saying like Mary Kate.
There you go.
Let you get a taste. Do you let it taste? Yeah, that's cool, but you ain't like me.
That's it, you pull that. So obviously, I'm demonstrating that so you guys can hear it, but in the club you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't let everybody hear the mistake. You get it in your headphones first, you've known it first time, nudge it in quickly, then mix it in. And yeah, like I said, you wouldn't have everything playing full volume like that. So most hip hop mixing,
Mr. What kind of car you in the city, know my name.
Mix like this.
Gotta say it.
So I get it, so it's cool, and then as you bring the other track in, take out the bass of the other one, so you're like, take out that movement, creating like a more isolated vocal between the drums. It's not just like all muddy, you can hear there's too much going on lower.
That's cool, but he ain't like me.
Yeah. So yeah, have a go at that, and try like, once you've got it in, take the bass out of this track.
Mr. What kind of black, like it's gangland. Say the wrong words, you be hangman. Why me stick to you like a spray tan? Mr. What kind of car you in the city, know my name. Gotta say it.
Okay, so nudge it forward a little bit. Okay, that's cool.
She can get a taste.
Now, that's the filter. The one above it, the low.
It's all the same like Mary Kate. She can get a taste. Let you get a taste.
And then when this gets to the end, pull that down.
Yeah, that's cool, but he ain't like me.
There you go.
Beautiful. Nice. Yeah, so generally when you're going to like do big changes like that, you do them like on a downbeat. So if you're going to like kill the low end or something, you wouldn't just do it like halfway through a bar. So I generally like mix in and then 4 bars into that. You can put it in, kill the low end and stuff. It's better for impact. The other thing I want to talk about that's really useful that DJ City do and a lot of other record pools do are these pre-made transition edits.
Can
So
you explain real quick what a record pool is?
Yeah, I kind of said briefly before. So basically, it's a website. You pay a monthly subscription, you sign up to it, and the record labels send the music directly, all high quality. So you don't have to go through dodgy websites to get your music and stuff. And we get it before the general public do. And you'll get mix-friendly versions. And
You had a question?
oh, sorry, you go on.
What is it called?
The record pools. There's
Record
loads.
pools?
The one I work for is DJ City.
And there's DJ City US, that
Yeah.
massive, but he works at DJ City UK. There's DJ City Latin. There's DJ Cities all over.
They're
the
opening
world.
up offices over. It's the biggest one. Like they're like a whole movement now as well. They're bigger than a record pool.
I mean,
But
most
yeah.
professionals are with DJ City in some kind of way, either an editor or you have a subscription. I get tons of edits all the time. I see his
Yeah.
edits on there all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of how I made my name, was making these DJ-friendly edits for other people. What that came from is back in the day, they'd take the physical records and service them. They'd go around to the stores and make sure like whatever was the label wanted to be out there were in the right stores and the right DJs were getting them. So obviously over time everything went digital and they progressed. They just did the best basically. They're the biggest pool and they have the most clout, the biggest DJs. But they're a really great resource. They have a friend of mine, Mojax in the UK. He does all the tech reviews, so you can literally any piece of equipment that comes out within 2 or 3 weeks. There'll be a really in-depth review. It'll tell you like all the good and bad features about it, whether it's good for the money. So it's really good for you guys to like decide what the right equipment is for you and stuff. There's also loads of tips and tricks.
Tons of tips and tricks, tutorials,
like,
all sorts of.
Yeah, like
If you're on their like website, tons of cool stuff.
yeah, there's a guy. Look out for a DJ TLM, guy from Holland. He
You know TLM?
Yeah, I watch his videos,
yeah.
I like scratch tutorials.
Yeah, he's great. If you like scratch stuff, DJ Angelo as well, he's a legend. He's been doing this for like 20 years. One of my great ones to check out. But yeah, just watch the tutorials. Everything's on there from like setting up your equipment. Yeah, you guys comfy?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything from setting up, what to buy, right up to your first club gig, up to headline sets, everything. You can get so much on there. So yeah, these are what I want to talk about, these pre-made transition edits, because these are really useful. So if you're playing at a certain tempo in the club, and like I say, people aren't feeling it, or the management is telling you, you need to up the vibe, up the tempo, these are really useful because they'll start off, like this one is a house edit. It's a friend of mine, James Hype. I don't know if you guys know about this tune. It's a really big house tune in the UK. So this starts off 100 BPM, so you could mix this into Tiger, into Travis Scott, Richard Kidd, whatever else is that tempo. And this does all the work for you. This will be pre-made in Ableton. You know about the automation within Ableton, how you can draw like tempo changes in? It's really simple. They'll chop up the vocal and they'll draw a straight line from 100 BPM to whatever the destination is. And they'll make a pre-made edit for you. So they're really useful. This is what one sounds like. This is an old school R&B track which was sampled in the house tune. So they start with the original. Not speaking space the wrong way now, everyone's stuck behind us. Tempo change starts. As smoothly as that, you're now playing house, and you can mix on from there. And it's better if you're in a certain place where it's like not loads of mic work, you don't want it to stop start, you just want it to be a vibe. These are really useful because people won't even realise what's going on. It's just like a smooth transition. That's something else that's really important. It's like knowing your role in the club and knowing like what vibe you're there to create. There's no use turning up to like play like a brunch where it's like everyone's like having prosecco and pancakes. It's a chill vibe, and you're playing 6ix9ine. Like no one wants to hear that. And I've seen people do it in London. You know, people are there, and it's like it's 7 p.m. People are eating pizza, chilling, and he's there playing Billy, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like it's mad. So it's really important to like have a varied collection of like different styles and moods. Same as you guys. You don't always want to listen to hard rap. Yeah, sure.
So are you in the US like for business, like on travel? Like do you live in the US now or you still
No. I'm only here for like a week.
Oh.
Just have a couple of parties.
Nice.
And I'm going to Texas from here for a week and then back to London.
Cool.
So yeah, I play all over Europe. This is my first time DJing in the States. I've been to LA 5 times, but it's my first time playing it.
So you're getting bigger, huh? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, it's going alright. So yeah, do you guys have any questions? Because obviously I want to. It's coming from a different perspective. You guys are producers first,
Like, who do you look up to? Like, who are your idols? Like other DJs?
So I have different ones depending on what mood I'm in. Like I like a lot of turntablist DJs, like like DJ Craze, Full Color Zach, Puffy. There's a competition called Rebel 3 Style, which is more like it's a mixture of what the old DMC like turntablist competitions used to be, mixed with like party rocking DJs. So it's more about like crowd interaction and stuff. So they're the kind of people I look up to. But like in the music world, for me, there's no one bigger than Diplo. Really, what he does is like he can like infiltrate any genre, any style, and make it pop and take it to the next level. So yeah, he's a great mold, and he really like revolutionized the music industry. The way that his label puts out music on Mad Decent, like obviously now it's such a good time for you guys to be doing this because there's so many great tools online, and it's possible for you to like make a tune in your bedroom in headphones on a laptop and put it online and have it out there and have people listen to it on Spotify and buying it on iTunes without without a record label. That never used to be the case back in the day. It was so difficult to get a record to market. So yeah, is there any other questions you guys have about the transition from producer to DJ or anything? Or
Okay, ask some questions.
it's cool. Like
We're thinking of something.
yeah, it's cool. Literally anything.
Miles, what questions do you have?
What did you start with, like gear-wise, and how did you like get to where you are?
Yeah, gear-wise, I started with turntables. So I bought before this whole like the hype started again with like Technics and vinyl and everything a few years ago. Turntables were really cheap, so I got a pair of Technics for like £250. So it's like $300, I guess, or something. So I was really lucky. So I started with that and the equivalent of this software like 10 years ago. If I was doing it now, I wouldn't recommend that because you need to decide if DJing is for you. Obviously, a lot of producers have to do it. It's the easiest and fastest way to make money off production. Not everyone makes money off selling music right away, but if you create a niche and you start getting a bit of a buzz, you can make good money off DJ sets quickly. So yeah, I just don't rush into it and spend loads of money. Just something like this is great, like $200 to $500
How many parties do you do every month?
a month. It varies. I used to DJ 7 nights a week.
Really?
For like a year and a half. Every single night I played like
Wow.
4 or 5 hours.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was intense. And then now I do like the radio stuff and the record pools and that kind of thing. I've taken like a step back from the club bookings and I'm a little bit more like choosy with what I do, what I put my name to, because I just love DJing. I just wanted to be out every night playing in the clubs. I wasn't like interested in the production side of things or anything. I just like DJing. So, but now, yeah, I'm more.
And
into the music
when
side.
you go on tour like with Drake or something, how many different cities do you go?
So it depends. Yeah, it depends on the artist. Drake, I did 2 dates, like 2 one-off dates with him. So I did 2010, I think it was, and I did his tour with The Weeknd in 2014. Would You Like a Tour? So I just did like 2 one-city dates. That they had different DJs for every city, because they want the DJs to bring people to the event and stuff as well, obviously. So they try and get someone that's like got a bit of hype locally. Other artists, I'll work with them like on their set. Obviously Drake didn't need my help. He's got that covered. So, but like yeah, with smaller artists and stuff, I'll work with them on their set. And like a lot of rappers starting out, they'll rap over like beats that are already famous or whatever to blow up, and I'll help them like put stuff together and try and make it more of a show. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to? Yeah.
What did you do, especially when you were first starting out, your first couple of years, let's say? What did you do to start to be able to grow your name so that then you would get more exposure, like locally, and then branch out?
So what I did and what you guys need to do now is so different. I don't think it's worth me. Like it was for me back then. It was literally like door to door with like mixed CDs and just being around. That's something that I actually want to discuss. Is like the importance of networking, not just with other DJs and producers, but just creatives in general. It's really good to build a team of people like graphic designers and photographers and videographers and people like that to have around you, because you need all that content there. Obviously, you guys are all on Instagram and stuff, I guess, yeah. So you've seen what the big DJs do. They're having these videographers follow them around constantly, and that's the kind of stuff that people buy into. So it's really good to have a team of people that are like at the equivalent stage you're at, where they're not really ready to start charging like big money yet, but they just want the experience. So team up with people that are like local to you, get designers to design your mix covers, your logos. What's that? Yeah, so that's really important. But yeah, just network for the sake of networking. Too many people only call on someone when they want something, and people can see that a mile off. It's important just to help people and just know that it will come back. Just like put like, I'm not going to go into like all spirituality and stuff, but you know, it's just good karma. Like, be nice to people, help everyone out, try and help people, especially other creatives that aren't DJs, because it doesn't affect your lane whatsoever. You putting on a photographer or whatever, it's not stopping you getting work, and they might end up speaking to somebody and they're doing an event and they need a DJ and they help you back. It's just, so yeah, that's the thing now. I just say just make sure you keep on top of your content, decide what your market is as well. That's really important. So many people are putting out mixed messages all the time. So one day they're a hip hop DJ, next day they're talking about sports, or it's cool. Certain things like sneakers and things like that, obviously that falls within the hip hop culture, so that's cool. But too many people have like disconnected brands. They try to play too many different types of music, do too many different things. So give yourself a couple of years, decide what you like. Obviously you're experimenting with music and stuff, but once you've done that, you need to set clear goals and make sure everything you do works towards those goals. It's difficult. It's like, if you were like trying to lose weight or gain weight at the gym, you wouldn't notice the change day to day. People around you aren't going to notice it. They're going to look at you and you're not going to notice yesterday. It's the same with DJing. If you look at what you're doing day to day, you're not going to see a progression generally. But I bet if you look back 6 months or a year, you're going to be like in a much better place. If you're not, you need to work harder. That's how it is. So set short-term goals, which I can't remember who said it before. Like one of you guys said about making money, just like quick money in the clubs. If that's your goal, if you want to use that to fund your production stuff, buy better equipment, better speakers, sound cards, whatever, cool, do it. Just know what it is. Go and take those commercial party bookings that you have to do. It gets you a couple of $100, but if it means that you can buy yourself some brand new speakers, then cool. And that's your long-term goal. Don't get them confused, and just make sure you're always working towards them. I think because that's something I didn't do for 5 years. I was just running around DJing 7 nights a week, having loads of fun, and I was like, well, where did my youth go? Like, you need to be really focused with it, and you guys are at a great stage with everything, I think. So yeah, I did have like a crazy long list I wanted to write stuff up on.
Yeah, here.
I can't write, you need to write.
Oh. You DJ, I'll write. Alright, we're talking about some do's and some don'ts in DJing.
Yeah, if you could just write these like... I mean, I've actually gone over some of this already,
Do, don't.
So yeah, the first do, like the first important one, is getting to know the equipment. Like I was saying before, if you turn up to a club, it's embarrassing if you don't even know how to like.
No equipment.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's embarrassing if you like turn up to a club, you don't even know how to plug like some XLRs or RCOs or whatever you need to plug in. So just know what part of this is transferable. Every like setup you have, you're not always going to have these shiny pads. If you get CDJs, it's going to be a platter, a play and a pause button. That's it. So just get to know those. Get used to beat matching. Practice doing it by ear. Don't look at the screen. And yeah, just know different equipment, know different ways of working. But also, it's cool to be comfortable on something. If this is what you base your workflow around, you're happiest on this, and you're doing a set by yourself. Don't feel bad about taking this to the party and plugging it in and doing it, but just know that if you're part of a lineup with 4 or 5 other DJs, that's not going to be viable. That's going to just annoy the venue, and you're probably not going to get booked again. So, Yeah, the other one is know your music. That's what I was saying before about a lot of stuff having a simple structure, like with hip hop music, but not everything does. So don't get caught out. Don't start mixing something which has a 6-bar hook or like a 3-bar, you know, some weird time structure, and you're stuck with vocals clashing, or worse, you've just got like a dead beat for like 20
This is
seconds.
really important, and that I think that's one of the harder things to learn when you're DJing is when you bring in your next song on the chorus of the other song depends on the genre that it's playing at.
Yeah, there's loads of things that go into it, and although you got to remember in a nightclub, obviously you're going to be focusing on what you're doing way more than other people. They're going to be going to the bathroom, chatting to their friends, Instagramming, whatever. They're not going to be paying as much attention as you are, but know that it does contribute, like subconsciously. Every little thing you do, keeping the vibe going, playing songs that have like a similar feel and stuff, keeping that momentum going is really important. And a lot of DJs don't pay that enough attention. So work on like mini sets of stuff that sound the same. Obviously, it's easy to mix Migos into Travis Scott into Drake. All that stuff is very similar, sounds the same. You can do all that. But if you're going into other genres, like Afrobeats and dancehall kind of stuff I play, there's a lot of different types. So it's good to know you can break stuff down into vibe and energy and stuff like that and build it up. Next one is, if you asked about sync earlier, that's like a big debate in DJing, but sync is a really useful tool. A lot of the big DJs actually use it because you shouldn't use sync to just bypass mixing. You should learn to beat match by ear first, and then sync should be something that gives you that extra few seconds to perform something in the club. So on here it's just this button right here. So if we have these, say we have 2 tracks at different tempos like this, one's at 98, one's at 95, I can literally hit sync on this deck, and that's now the same tempo. Now, that's lazy DJing. If you would literally just do what we did before, just hit play and just pull the fader, no one's giving you props for that, it's not cool. But if you use that to go to the next level, so like you could use it to maybe like do a transition or something. Yeah, so say you were playing at like 106 BPM, you wanted to transition up the house. This is where having sync is a really useful feature. Because you have this vocal running, you've got a house record which originally is 120 BPM, so 14 BPM apart. That's going to be difficult to do as a live mix. You haven't got enough hands to do it. But if you use the sync option and drop this on beat like normal, you now have whatever you do on one pitch fader is going to happen on the other. So you can now bring this up to its original tempo, and you see these stay in sync the whole way. That's a really useful tool. So yeah, that's really useful. So basically, you have what's called the master and the slave. Whichever one you touch first becomes the master tempo, and that will control the tempo of the other side, basically. So that's cool. Again, that's just getting to know your music. Look for little parts where the vocal, the beat drops out, and you've got like an isolated vocal, loop it up, and use it to transition to other tracks.
You have to be careful with that, because if you press the wrong master at the wrong time, it'll change.
Sync's a tricky thing. Yeah,
sync's really, I mean, you have to know the equipment real good. Because I've done it before where I'm trying to sync it and I press the sync button, but it turns the song that I'm playing down to the level of the other song that I wanted that sync to. And then it's just like, it just falls flat. And if you're playing on CDJs, you don't use the sync button at all.
Yeah, you don't have that. That's generally on these controllers.
Yeah, it's mostly on the controllers. You don't need it with the CDJs because you can see the pitch exactly, and it really screws it up on CDJs.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not. A lot of DJs are against it. They don't even know why they are. It's stupid, really. But if you use them the right way, it's a really powerful tool because it just gives you that extra few seconds to like work on being more creative and stuff. It doesn't tell you when to mix. It doesn't tell you how to count. It doesn't tell you what song to play next, or how to read a crowd, or how to take a request. So it's just a great little tool that's there for you. Yeah, learn how to market yourself. That's the next big one. Did you write down the last one?
Which was the
Oh yeah, just the last thing was just like the basics of mixing and sync. You just put sync, that's cool. Yeah, so that's the next one. The next big one is learn how to market yourself because, yeah, like I say, you guys live in a great time to do this. It's really easy to get your product out there. Just have stuff on Instagram, Facebook. Just decide what your market is and attack it. Look at what other DJs. Who do you guys look up to as producers? Like,
As producers, like, No ID.
yeah.
I love No ID.
Okay.
I met him and I was like, do you want to listen to my music? He's like, no.
You're gonna get that. They're gonna get that all the time. So that's fair play. You're probably put on a bad day. What about you guys? Who do you want to be like?
Like, I don't know, can you name a couple like hip-hop or rap?
Yeah, what kind of stuff do you want to do? Do you want to make beats for rappers to be on? Is that your kind of goal? You just want to do like that kind of hip hop? What stuff do you like, the trap or the more up tempo?
Trap.
Yeah.
Usually,
What's Travis Scott? Is that your kind of vibe or?
yeah, like Travis, Migos.
Mhm.
And then there's like a bunch of other rappers like 21 and like Young Nudie,
Mhm.
all those people. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. So I mean, that.
Do you do like trap and stuff like in the club or?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Does it like not really flow?
I just got told I couldn't play anything with curse words today, so it's really difficult to play all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like, but yeah, the thing with that kind of music, that's going to be like down to connections. You know, a lot of those tracks are horribly produced. They're not great from a producer's point of view. A lot of the people that got put on, look at DJ Mustard, for instance.
Yeah.
He was just friends with YG. That was it. They used to sleep in YG's mum's basement, and that's how they built up. You know, YG put out a mix. They got big. Mustard got big as a producer. It happens for a lot of the rappers. The beats aren't especially great. It's the vocal that's going to carry it.
Or the beats.
Yeah. You know, you look at real pop producers like writers. You know, they're way better than that. But yeah, so that's where networking is important. Obviously, you're in a great hub for it. I'm sure there's loads of rappers that are like trying to make it like you guys. So just team up from early. See someone that's got like a similar work rate and vision to you. Team up and just start putting music out. The best thing to do is just get into the habit of finishing things and just putting it out there, because I know too many people that get into their late 20s, early 30s and never release anything, and then you know the anxiety builds up because there's always pressure. I've been doing this for 10 years now and everyone expects a hit the first time round. Don't ever let it get to that stage. Just start working and just make it a learning process, because you might find in a few years' time you don't even like trap anymore. You know, I know it's hard to believe now, but just think, 4 or 5 years ago that didn't even exist.
Yeah.
That stuff wasn't big before Versace came out. That whole like triplet flow that Migos do, that wasn't as popular. So that's only really come around. It could all change again in a few years. So you got to be versatile as producers and just make sure you build a really good network and just know how to produce like different types of music and stuff so you can roll with it.
What about some don'ts? Or DJ don'ts?
Yeah. So the first big one is don't copy anybody. No one likes that. Don't straight up jack sets. Like a lot of people do that, and it's cool to be inspired by people and know what's going on. It's really important to stay switched on online and see what people are doing to be successful. But make sure you find your own sound and develop it. And that's the only way you're going to really get big, is to be like a curator and have your own sound as a producer and a DJ. So I'd say that's a big one. Just don't copy people. If you're going to be a club DJ in any capacity, make sure you know your role. Nobody likes a warm-up DJ that turns up and just plays all the hits in the first hour. So it's really important to like understand your role in the club. Whether it's sometimes like in the West End in London, my job isn't to get everyone to like dance as hard as possible. It's getting to spend money on tables. There's people spending like $30,000-$40,000 a night on alcohol, and it's more about just maintaining the vibe, and it's knowing that they're not all there to see you do these crazy routines and bang out like all the hits. It just needs to stay like at a point where they won't leave and they're just going to spend money. So just make sure you understand your role and you're prepared for that. Yeah, don't undersell yourself. I know obviously the temptation at the start is you want to get out there and just get experience and stuff, but don't let people take advantage of you. There's a thin line between people wanting to help you and give you a chance and put you on, and people just taking advantage of you because they just want a free gig. So what I'd say is, rather than doing what a lot of people do and going directly to promoters and trying to like put DJs out of work but undercutting them, go to DJs themselves. Like, approach them, see if they're willing to mentor you, see if they'll let you do like a warm-up set for them. A lot of the time they quite happily not have to DJ the first hour of the night. So you're going to get to go to a club, DJ on a good sound system, use the proper equipment, take advantage of it. Just try and network with them. It's really easy. There's so many. I was only here for 4 or 5 days, and I managed to network with a lot of DJs I've never even heard of. Just go on Instagram, see you playing at the clubs, hit them up, say you want to start out. That's cool to do for free, but don't just go and work for promoters and club managers for free. I know it's tough because you want to get experience, but just know the difference. And yeah, the biggest thing is don't give up too quickly. If you've got a product and you're going to put it out there, after 4 or 5 weeks it's not working, don't give up on it. The biggest key in the music industry is consistency. If you're going to do a podcast, you're going to do a weekly mix, you're going to put out like Kanye did the Good Music Fridays. If that didn't work the first week, he would have still put out the second, third and fourth Fridays. Consistency is really important for people. People like patterns and repetition and stuff, so just whatever your product is, decide and stick with it. If it's not working for 3 years, by all means give up, but don't, give it a chance. I see way too many people do that. They're like, oh yeah, I start this new mixtape series, and 4 weeks later, they get like 100 plays online, and they're like, oh, screw this, I'll give up and move on to the next thing. Just, give stuff time, develop your own market and stuff, because you might even encounter a market that wasn't there in the first place, like Beverly did. He wasn't trying to copy anybody, he just did his own thing, and the next thing he has Major Lazer, and they're like the most streamed act ever.
Should we do some sets? Some messing around with these things?
Yeah, everyone just jump on.
We're good.
We're good?
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, everybody give it up for... Now we're just going to mess around and have some fun, yeah.